YouTube, we have a new main box, Demise of Ruin, Fur Hires, Infernity, Performapals, Samorg, Weather Painters, X-Sabers, Odd Eyes, and more. Let's go! Thank you ZENONZARD for this sponsor. Download ZENONZARD now from the link in my description to have the chance of receiving up to 240 of 500 cards during the ongoing events and campaigns happening in July. Learning a new card game can be difficult, but in ZENONZARD, your AI buddy gives you advice during live duels, just like a real-life buddy. Knowing what deck to play in a new card game can be challenging. ZENONZARD solves that. Your AI buddy will help you craft a competitive deck around your collection and based on a combo or card you like. With a crafting system, ZENONZARD is free-to-play friendly, allowing you to craft any card you want. In my video description and pinned comment are free-to-play decks you can craft. There are 16 different AI buddies to level up and collect skins for. The game's got summer skins. Here are 3 standout features during live duels. Movable mana system, which allows you to quickly gain 2 mana every turn, unlike a slow mana card game. Flash phase, triggered by your opponent attacking, you can interact on your opponent's turn. And one of my favorites, the force system. The force system, choosable when building your deck, allows you to have passive benefits like readying your minions or your mana or increasing your damage. What are you waiting for? Download ZENONZARD today using my description. You fool! Weather Painters. Could be a top tier or top rogue deck, says the chat, and we did play test it, and I was actually surprised at how good the deck actually is. Here's some sample lists from the community. Thank you for contributing. We got Invoked. We even have a Dark Lord in there. Weather Painter Snow. On summon, you'll play a Weather spell or trap from the deck face up on the field, and during the standby phase, if the card was banished on the previous turn, it special summons on the field. So basically, the Weather Painter Snow and the Weather Painter Thunder, they both have the effect of summoning onto the field. So to quickly paint the picture for you, you are continually going to banish the monster through a card effect, and then they're going to come back on the field. And that's going to happen every turn. Banish, come back, banish, come back. And when they are banishing, they're going to be using the effect of the Weather Snowy Canvas to, and these are quick play banishing, you're going to be banishing to be searching for any weather card from your deck, then comes back onto the field after searching in the next standby phase. Or you're going to be using the trap to be returning your opponent's monster back to the hand. So back to the snow. On summon, you'll play a weather spell or trap. That will be the Weather Snow Canvas. And what is this picture? What does this mean? Well, this is a column deck, and in Duel Links, you can't choose the column you want to play the cards, but it will automatically play it based off what you already have in the field. So the first card you play will be in the middle, and only the column the card is in and the adjacent columns will get the effect, will give the effect onto the monster, allowing it to banish itself to search for a weather card. So this is the searcher that gives them the ability to quick play, banish, and search for a card. And the other one's the trap. The trap is the one at the start of the damage step. You banish your monster and return their monster back to their hand. It's the same column goodness that we had from the other card to get the effect, to get banishing. The Thunder sends a face-up spell or trap you control to the graveyard, and you will get to play a weather spell or trap from the deck face-up onto the field. You send a face-up spell or trap you control to the graveyard to play a weather spell or trap from the deck face-up on the field. So it's similar to the other one. The other one's on normal summon, play a weather from the deck. This one is send a face-up card to play a weather from the deck. And same thing, when banished, it will special summon back in the field. Now we have Cloudy Canvas, not as good as the other ones, but it does the same column effect of giving your monster the ability to banish itself as a quick play. And the effect is banish itself, target a monster you control or your opponent controls. That monster can now attack directly, but it loses half of its attack. The last Weather Painter is Sun. This one, while in the graveyard, could send a face-up spell or trap to the graveyard to special summon, and then play another spell or trap from the deck, a weather spell or trap, and it's got the same special summon during the standby phase of the next turn after it's banished. It's fire. So you'll use it with Invoked if you are going to play Invoked. Otherwise, you might not even play this card. Maybe one. Here's an example deck list. Play Balance or Shadow Game, and let's duel against Dark Magician. All right, Dark Magician drawing their cards. We're going to draw our cards too. Let's get drawing. Let's get focused for this duel. We're going to summon her, which will play a weather spell or trap from the deck. We're going to play the trap, because we already have the searcher. So the columns, right now the spell is making it so above and on the side has the effect to quick play banish itself to search, and the trap gives us the ability to banish itself to return a monster back to the hand. So we're gonna banish herself to search for the Thunder. We already normal summon this turn, so we'll use Thunder next turn. And I will set Karma Cut, because that's a pretty good card. It could be anything you want. We'll summon it back in your opponent's turn on their standby phase into defense. Now our opponent only sets a card, sets a navigation. Now in the end phase, we're gonna activate the quick play effect to banish and search. And it's gonna come back in the standby phase. Come back in the standby phase after drawing and searching. Then we're gonna summon the Thunder. He's gonna flip up navigation. He's gonna summon a Kaiku, which will prevent us from banishing from the grave, not from the field. Now, if we swing into the Dark Magician, we can activate the effect of the Thunder, or I should say it's the effect of the Thunder on the field, to banish itself, return the Dark Magician back to the hand. So then, come back in the standby phase. If he battles with Kaiku, we will again banish, come back, and return his monster back to the hand. He's going to Illusion Magic, or just show us it and just set it. We're going to summon another Thunder. Now we're going to swing in with our tiny one. Effect of the Thunder Trap. Return it back to the hand by banishing. Open field, 17/17. Also use the effect of the spell to search. So it's searching, returning. If they don't deal with these cards, they're in trouble. They have to deal with the Thunder Canvas or they lose, because anytime they battle, we're going to return their card back to the hand. It's absolutely insane. Back on the field, they keep coming back in the standby phase after you banish. Finally, we got Circle, but it's too late. It is way too late. Summons a Kaiku. I don't think he even has navigation. He's got the Divine Wrath. We banish, return. It's over. Open field, lethal. So continually search, continually return back to the hand, continually special summon back in the field after activating the effect to search or return a monster back to the hand. It's insane. Odd Eyes. Now, here's a sample deck list from Kazaris, and we actually just copy it card for card, so we'll talk about that in a bit. We got two Odd Eyes cards. The main one you want to focus on is Saber Dragon, 2800 attack. The way to summon it is you tribute a light monster you control. Then, it special summons the Saber Dragon and sends an Odd Eyes Dragon from your hand, deck, to the graveyard. Now, what does that accomplish? Well, now you have a dark monster in the graveyard. That's right, we're not even focusing on whatever the Odd Eyes Dragon does. It's a dark monster. You tributed a light to summon a light. So now you get to summon Chaos, Leveneer, Chaos Sorcerer, Dragon Duo. Now there's ways to get screwed if you play this. So, you're probably thinking, maybe play 2 Saber Dragon, 1 Odd Eyes, 3 and 1. If you mill the Odd Eyes Dragon, you lose the effect of the Saber Dragon. You're not going to be able to special summon it, even if you have a light to tribute. You must send an Odd Eyes Dragon to get the effect to special summon. So milling, you're screwed. If you draw the Saber after already using the effect, you're screwed, because you're playing multiple probably to make it more consistent. Or if you draw the Dragon without Saber, you have a dead card in your hand, you're kind of screwed. Anytime you draw this, you don't want to draw it, even if you have the effect, because you're losing a card for free when you could send it from the deck to the grave. You could naturally use this in a Blue Eyes White Dragon deck, summon Sage, summon Whitestone of the Ancients, tribute to summon, and then you could play some Chaos monsters with your Blue Eyes White Dragon deck, or you could use it with Heretics. When Heretics are tributed, they activate to summon a normal dragon onto the field, which could be a tuner, which could make some Synchro Shokan plays. So here is a deck example. Thank you, Kazaris, and let's watch some plays. Get drawing. Show me the plays. We got the Sue, the Econ, the Saber Dragon. So we're gonna normal summon the Asset without tribute summoning, so it becomes a 1000 attack. We're gonna tribute it for the effect of the Saber Dragon. So we're gonna pretend like we're going second, okay? Second turn. After tributing the Asset with the effect of the Saber Dragon, first of all, we're gonna send an Odd Eyes from the deck to the graveyard. Sending the Odd Eyes. That's going to trigger the effect of the Asset. The Asset is going to special summon a Flamebell Guard, or it could search summon the level 2 tuner. So this is a level 7 plus a level 1. We can make a Vermilion Dragon Mech, or make a level 8 Synchro. We're making a Stardust Spark Dragon. Spark Dragon, quick play, could protect any of your cards from destruction once per turn. Now you can summon Leveneer. Banish, Banish, Banish. Dark, light, light. Hopefully Leveneer is in this box. By the time you see this review, we'll know if Leveneer is in the box or not. We're going off of leaks. And then you pop 2 cards on the field. That's basically all you need to know about this deck. The card allows you to play Leveneer, and you very quickly set up for Leveneer by sending a Dark to the graveyard. Loving it. Everyone is saying that Infernities are the best deck of the box. To hype them up a bit, the banless history of Infernities for the TCG is Archfiend limited to 1, Launcher limited to 1, Infernity Barrier, which is not even the box, but we are going to get it, limited to 1. That is insane. Now, it's a popular cheater deck in the TCG. Why? The deck is most powerful when you have no cards in your hand. So cheaters would secretly set monsters into the back row, which we know is illegal. Then they would win the duel, shuffle up their deck, and you're not allowed to confirm if their back row was a monster or not after they set it and then beat you that turn. That's nasty. And in the replays that when I played with the stream, there were opportunities where I was like, oh my, if I could just set this monster in the back row, I would win this turn. Can't do it in Duel Links. So was Infernities ever a good deck in the TCG, or did everyone cheat when using it? Duel Links will be the true test if this was actually ever a good deck, if it even deserved the ban list. We'll see. What cards are we missing from Duel Links? A third Necromancer, might be the Kessin Kaller, whatever, will give us a third one. Infernity Break, maybe he'll give us a third one. And we're missing a second and third Infernity Barrier. So now let's get into the deck. What's good? Barrier is insane because it negates any spell, trap, or monster or effect. It just negates anything. You have to control a face-up attack Infernity, and you have to have 0 cards in your hand. That's the theme of the entire deck. You can't activate the Infernity card effects or get the great benefits of them if you have any cards in your hand. So this negate anything, and it's searchable. So top tier back in the day, they would search multiple set, and it won't be in the box, but it will be available. Just 1 copy as far as we know. Infernity Archfiend. When special summoned with nothing in the hand, search for an Infernity card. It's a soft once per turn. That means you could summon the same copy onto the field. Boom, boom, boom. Search, search, search. Other copies. Summon, summon. Search, search, search. If you draw it with no cards in the hand, special summon it. This is so sacky. Back in the day at TCG, they have no cards in the field, nothing in the hand. They rip into an Archfiend without even deserving it. They didn't put it on top. They just randomly drew into it. They win. Because when special summon, you get to search. A way to not get lucky, to predict, to set up that summon from off the top of the deck could be Plague Spreader Zombie. Put it on top of the deck. You could even play Destiny Draw. Just draw into it, special summon. You must have 0 cards in your hand to activate the effect to special summon though. Now we have Launcher. Launcher is a card that will not only help you reduce your hand size to 0, but it's the main combo card. It will special summon 2 Infernities from the grave. So as a continuous spell, once per turn, discard an Infernity, then with no cards in the hand, special summon 2 Infernities from the grave. Dump and summon. So the main focus of the deck is, how do I special summon the Infernity Archfiend? Well, let's talk about the cards we already have. Necromancer will special summon your Archfiend from the graveyard or any Infernity. That's a way. We have Mirage, which will tribute itself to summon 2 Infernities from the graveyard. It's basically just like Launcher. Both these cards, you have to have no cards in the hand, by the way. And you could special summon a Mirage, not from your graveyard, but from your deck with the effect of the Stygian Security. So the deck really lacks a good turn 1. You could set the security, they attack into it, you summon a Mirage, then you win next turn. Then we have 100 Eyes Dragon, another way to special summon an Infernity from the graveyard. Once per turn, you could banish a level 6 or lower dark monster from the graveyard, copying its effect. So copy the Necromancer, summon Archfiend, or copy Mirage, then tribute it to summon 2 Infernities. So the main goal, what do we do with all of this Archfiend special summoning / searching? Well, 3 main goals. You want to make a lot of Synchro Showcons, big Synchros. Goal number 2, you want to search for an Infernity Barrier for a negate. Set it up, set it, negate. Also, search for Infernity Break. So, you want to break the field, multiple pops, negate, and multiple Synchros. That's how this deck is really good. So Infernity Break, with nothing in the hand, you could pop any card in the field by banishing an Infernity from the grave. Now, what are the tuners? If you're looking at this, how are we Synchro Shokaning? I didn't show you any tuners yet. Infernity Beetle, level 2 tuner. This was a popular one back in the day, but it looks like we might not even be using it. You could tribute it to summon 2 other beetles from the deck. Avenger, available at 1. This will be the main tuner you will use. It gets special summon from the grave when an Infernity is destroyed by battle. It also becomes the level of the monster that was destroyed by battle. The main skill we're going to use to make this deck more consistent is Infernity Inferno, which is a card itself, which you might use only on your second turn. So if they go first and then you go second, that's not your second turn. That's your first turn, but it's turn 2. On your second turn, discard any 2 cards from your hand, then send an equal number of Infernity monsters from your deck to the graveyard. This is the core skill you want to use to set up. Otherwise, you're going to need a card like Infernity Inferno to be consistent. Now let's put all that work together to look at some concept deck lists and look at a replay of what to do. So this is a core of what the deck will look like on how you should play it. And this is an ending combo. This is what your field will potentially look like. The Samsara could be any level 5 synchro, but the Samsara, when destroyed, could summon any monster from either player's graveyard onto the field, including an Archfiend. So this is a double pop. Destroy 2 cards on the field and negates a monster effect or a spell or a trap. Negate anything, pop 2 cards, 3,000 attack, 1,800. This is amazing. Now, how do you do this? So this is going to be the main setup through the skill and or using the launcher. You want to have Avenger, Necromancer, and an Archfiend in the graveyard. And if you do not have a Mirage in the hand and you just have a launcher, it also helps to just have Mirage in the graveyard too. So to set this up, if you have any of these 3 cards in your hand, just one of them, plus another card in your hand, which could be anything, you're going to discard both cards to send the other 2 missing cards to the graveyard with your skill. So after doing so, and you have a Mirage, let's walk through the combo to set up that incredible field of double pop and negates. Mirage with no cards in the hand, tribute, summon, Necromancer, Archfiend, search. Thank you, Dulling, for this combo. Grab the launcher, play the launcher so we could have no cards in the hand. Necromancer, summon the tuner. Now let's sync our Shokan into a level 8. Now we have 100 Eyes Dragon. 100 Eyes Dragon, copy a monster in the graveyard by banishing it. Banish the Mirage. Tribute the 100 Eyes Dragon to summon Necromancer and the Archfiend again. Archfiend, search for Infernity Barrier. Set the barrier. Then we want to use Necromancer again, summon Avenger. Sync our Shokan into 100 Eyes Dragon, but this time the 100 Eyes Dragon will stay on the field because only the effect of Mirage forced us to tribute. The Necromancer, which is what we'll copy next, will not force us to tribute. We're going to activate Launcher to summon Archfiend and Avenger. Archfiend effect, search for a break. Now we want to set the break, and the break will get poppin'. We'll pop any card in the field. You can make a Samsara, make an Amatrix, make an Armades, make whatever you want. Set it. 100 Eyes, banish the Necromancer, activate, summon the Archfiend, search again for Infernity Break. And just like that, pop, negate the big field. That's what this deck is capable of. So Dkayed, that looks like it's tier 0. It does look like tier 0. It is a tier 0 combo, but it's hard to pull off. It's susceptible to disruption. You don't have a good turn 1 with this deck. So the player that could solve the problem of not having a good turn 1 and interrupting their back row will do well with this deck. Now, if this deck becomes popular, Spiritualism is from the Card Trader. This is what I used back in the day to defeat those dirty Infernity players. You will return one of their back row cards back to their hand they cannot negate. This card's activation cannot be negated. So with the Infernity Barrier and multiple pops, if you just Spiritualism any of those cards, that's it. Can't negate with Barrier, and then it resolves. You have a card in the hand. Then you can't activate Barrier, and you can't activate Break because you have to have no cards in the hand. So by forcing them to have a card in the hand, the whole deck gets shut down. Here is a full deck plus Dueling a Dark Magician deck. Here's some sample deck lists. Check them out. Boom, boom, boom. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And here are the main problems that we already talked about. We could just set the Hollowed Life Barrier and the Infernity Break. Activate Circle. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let's set the navigate. End our turn. End phase. Nothing. Nothing. We're not activating anything. Duel. Whew. The barrier. Oh, crap. We don't want to discard barrier. We have to discard the barrier because we want the Infernity break to be active to take out the circle. Okay? So we're going to use the skill. Infernity Inferno. Discard the barrier, discard the Archfiend to send a Necromancer and an Avenger. We activate Launcher. He flips up Navigation. Let's go. He summons Dark Magician. And he summons a Dark Magician. Activating Circle to target the Launcher. We chain Infernity Break. We banish the barrier to pop the Circle negate. Not today, Dark Magician. Activate the Launcher, sending to the graveyard to summon Necromancer and Archfiend. Activate the Archfiend, get searching. We'll grab another Launcher, we play Launcher, we activate Necromancer, special summon the Avenger. Synchro Shokan, 1, 2, 3, into 100 Eyes Dragon, 3000 attack. Launcher, get sending, summon the Archfiend, and summon the Avenger. Activate Archfiend, get searching for Infernity Break. Send to the graveyard. Come forth, summon Armades. Set the break. Activate the effect 100 Eyes. 100 Eyes will banish a level 6 or lower from the graveyard, banishing the Necromancer. Activate the effect 100 Eyes to special summon Infernity Archfiend. Infernity Archfiend, come forth, searching for, we're out of breaks and we're out of barriers, so we'll just grab a Launcher. We have to set the Launcher, or we can just play it. Okay, he does have navigation in the grave. Let's take out the Dark Magician, he takes 500. Let's swap up. Is there really nothing better than Armades? Is there a level 5 that could take out Dark Magician? Amatrix. Oh my god, we gotta play Amatrix! Get this crap out of here! Freaking Amatrix, mate! Amatrix! You fools! Amatrix is in. Amatrix is in. So this put in a defense. This is an Amatrix. Take it out. Attack directly, 1800. Woo! Ribbon of Rebirth, as we talk about ultra rare and super rare cards. You equip this onto a monster. During the end phase, if the equipped monster was destroyed by battle and sent to a graveyard, I say a graveyard, you could special summon it onto your side of the field. That's right, your side of the field. Put 2 and 2 together. A graveyard, your side of the field. Equip it onto your opponent's monster. If you equip it on your opponent's monster and destroy their monster by battle, it goes to the grave. End phase, summon their monster onto your side of the field. Yoink! Or equip it onto your Kickman. Kickman, when special summoned, will equip an appropriate equip spell from the graveyard to this card. That's an infinite loop. Equipped on a Kickman, if destroyed by battle, summon in the end phase, re-equip. Destroyed by battle, summon in the end phase, re-equip. It's forever. Or we could use Fairy Tale Rella. This is another way to kind of loop. This card could discard a spell to equip an equip card from the graveyard, deck, or hand. Now, the equip card goes back to the hand in the end phase. Well, you could still make some plays with it. Here's a sample troll deck list. I didn't put much effort into this. I'm sure we could clean this up to make it much better. But Kickman, Rayla, equip cards, do it. Watchcat. Watchcat says, if you control no monsters, you could special summon this card. It's got 0 attack, it's got 1800 defense. During the end phase, if this card was special summoned this turn, optional, you can banish the card to set, not play, a continuous spell from your deck. Now, using duellinksmeta.com, I click on the search, I sort by popularity. These are the most popular continuous spells. I could have scrolled down more, do it yourself for ideas. You could set a Black Whirlwind, set a Circle, set any good continuous spell from your deck. Is this card going to be good? It's kind of slow, but it does search for a Circle. If it played the Circle, that would have been absolutely nuts, but it does not.